Hey, anyone. American politics has been quite entertaining of late, particularly the Democratic selection for a candidate. And I'd had a theory, like part of my, I've had a theory on who the candidate would be for about 3 years now. Hasn't actually changed, or it's looking shaky now. But it was based on a presumption that I think is actually valid. So back in 2017, I was basically laughed at by my friends to my face when I said that I thought that Elizabeth Warren had a chance of being the Democratic candidate, and in fact it wasn't just like a sort of a throw it away. It was actually like a relatively serious chance of getting the nomination. And of course the first complaint that was thrown back at me about the theory was yeah, but she won't win. And part of my estimation of why they would choose that was that essentially the DNC know they can't win against Trump. They don't really have anybody who can out-bombast him, if you see what I mean. Like nobody can really sort of create enough wow in a positive enough way. I'd say your AOCs can, but it's not for a good reason. Not for the people that they're trying to win over, really. And so although my kind of prediction that Elizabeth Warren would be the candidate is starting to look shaky now with recent results from various Democratic voting, I still think that estimation is valid, that the DNC know that they're not going to win against Trump. And so the candidate that's going to get selected isn't necessarily going to be the best candidate. It's just going to be the candidate that they think will say the things that they want to, do the things that they want to, make the deals that they want them to, and not step out of line. And that was my basis for predicting Elizabeth Warren, because essentially she's in bed enough with the rest of the career politicians that she's kind of one of them. She's in touch with that kind of Bernie Sanders-esque kind of socialism kind of bent, so she's kind of drawing a little bit from that angle. And she doesn't have any proper scandals. I mean, obviously the whole Native American heritage thing is kind of a bit of a gaffe, but she doesn't have anything in the closet like Biden does. Or Bloomberg. That's been great. But I think, I think that's correct. That, like, the DNC aren't planning to win. They're planning to lose. And they're picking a candidate not based on who's most able. In fact, the most able candidate will get pushed out, because essentially the Republicans don't really have another Trump, is the thing. They'll have other people that will say that they're for that, but then when you start examining their political career, you'll start to see that actually, like, they've kind of jumped on this as a sort of like this is a winning career move kind of thing. There are still some sort of faces here and there amongst the Republicans that might have genuine intentions to continue this kind of ethos, but I don't think that anyone has the same panache to command the vote in the same way as Trump does in the Republican Party. So I think that the DNC will actually try to put forward their best candidates for 2024. I've been saying to my friends that I reckon that they'll put forward Tulsi Gabbard as their potential, actual, successful candidate, and that they'll put her against as a sort of the challenge for the people in the Democratic support groups to fight over will be Kamala Harris. I don't really have any evidence for this other than kind of the feel that I get from the choices that Democratic voters seem to be making, although that's kind of a shaky one sometimes because of the possibility of people saying that they're part of the Democratic Party so that they can make a vote to fudge up the Democratic candidates so that they can also then, when the vote comes round, flip to the Republican side and cause an upset that way as well. Which would be hilarious. But, well, time will tell, eh?